Good morning, yogis. Dory and I are here very early in the morning to make a video, and that's because just outside this door, there's going to be a renovation, and it's going to be very loud. Jackhammers involved. So here we are preparing something for you to enjoy your home practice. You can see I'm holding a yoga belt. This is a 10-foot belt. You can create something like this by binding belts together or scarves together, but make sure it's a firm, buckled, knotted belt. Then take your belt and loop it around the door handle. You can't see where this belt is looped because it's gone around the door to the handle on the other side, and it's looped over that handle, and then close the door. I'd even say slam that door so that it's absolutely secure. The door is not going to open. And if you have the capacity to lock your door at home, why not do that? Particularly if you're sharing the house with other people, so that there's no chance they could come through that door and disturb your practice. We can see this belt is firmly looped. How do you use it? You take the belt over your head, you place it into the crease at the top of the legs. If you're not sure about that, bend your knees a little and this little crease will show up. Then parallel the feet, firm the legs and fold over the belt. Here the fingertips have come to the floor. Now I'm looking back to step the feet back and then to step the hands forward like this. Here I'm in a modified Adho Mukha Svanasana, or downward facing dog. I'm not going to talk a lot about that posture yet because we're going to do this posture later in the sequence. But just giving you a heads up so you can turn the video off now and take your belt and loop it around the door handle and get ready, because a little later in this sequence, you'll be able to use your very own rope wall. I'm going to step out of the belt now and go to the mat and show the beginning of the sequence. We'll get back here a little later. Just follow me. Welcome into the studio. Here we are again. I'm using 4 props today. The belt. I've got 2 foam blocks, a blanket, and a chair. Our very first posture has us on the floor. I like to use a blanket to rest the back of the head and to rest the neck. Then, coming onto the mat, knees are bent. We slide the tailbone toward the heels, come onto the elbows, and stretch the spine along the mat. From here, we'll gather the right thigh over the left thigh and slowly stretch to the left. As soon as that right toe touches the floor, you've got control. Hold the knee thigh with the left hand. Slide the right hand, thumb, forefinger into the crease at the top of the legs and push the top of the thigh away from you as you gather the knee toward the left armpit. And then expand the right arm from the shoulder blade. Extend the shoulder blade to the palm. And if the neck allows, turn to look at the right hand. To come out of this posture, turn the head to center. Use your left hand to just toss the knees back to center. Unravel the legs. Lift the hips and set them down evenly. Now left thigh over right. Right hand holds the knee thigh. But if you can't reach for the knee thigh, what to do? You could place a belt around the thigh and hold the belt and draw that left knee across till the toes touch the floor. Now you have control. Left hand comes in place, pushes thigh away as the knee gathers in. producing a release in the sacrum and a stretch through the hip complex. Expand the shoulder blade to the palm and turn to look if the neck allows. Coming back to center with the head, back to center with the knees, set the feet down, parallel and levelize the hips, and now second pose. Extend the legs. Wedge the right Achilles between left and second toe. Now we have to lift the right hip up. The shoulder blade lifted. I want to ground that shoulder blade and extend it into the hand. Roll the feet back to center. Release the wedging of heel and toes. Lift the hips, set them down evenly. Extend the right leg. Wedge left Achilles. Lift the left hip. The stretch you'll feel coming right the way through the back body. And then back to center. Knees bent, feet down, hips up and down. Now we're going to come to a seated position. So we slide the right hand under the skull, shift the hips to the left, turn on to the side, look down, and coming up, we're going to take our chair. Blanket goes away just for the moment. Chair comes on the mat, and we're going to sit toward the front edge of the chair. Sitting toward the front edge of the chair, I draw the flesh of the buttocks back so I get right on the sits bones, knees over ankle, right ankle up. Here the stretch is coming from calf to heel, so all around the ankle joint, the skin is soft and smooth. And then to release this thigh toward the floor, we have to work a little bit with the abdominals. So take your hands and find that space below your navel, but just above the pubic bone. That's the deep rectus abdominis, or the six-pack of the muscles that run deep, deep, deep inside the abdominal complex. Draw that deep rectus abdominis back to the spine, lift your chest, come forward, and watch how the thigh releases toward the floor. There's an intense sensation in that right hip. But breathe, relax, and again, deep abdominals into the body, chest up and forward, thigh releasing. Stay, and if you wish, turn the video off and stay and repeat. We're going to move to the second side now. We gather the knee, set the foot down, lift the left ankle, stretch from calf to heel, smooth around the ankle so the ankle is not torqued in any way, touching that space above the pubic bone, below the navel. I gather it in, lifting the chest, coming forward, the thigh releases in the hip socket. You're stretching the piriformis muscle deeply. Again, gather the deep abdominals in, stretch the chest up and forward, and release the piriformis. It's an intense sensation. Just breathe, relax all around the hip socket, and then set the foot down. Continuing in this way to release deep inside the pelvic complex, the next pose is sometimes called rock the baby. I gather the right leg up. I take the left arm and bring the foot into the crook of the elbow and reach around the thigh and just give a little rock to this toe baby. Rocking, releasing, moving the tensions out of the hip complex, and then the right foot comes down. It's time to rock the left leg, toe baby. Up comes the foot. There, I'm reaching under the calf to bring the calf up. This right elbow embraces the left foot. This left hand gathers around and we rock the toe baby. Hello, baby. Just lubricating all around the hip socket, moving in just little pulses back and forth, and then set your toe baby down. Get ready to stand, because now we're going to shift positions back to the floor. Arms come forward, we push into the feet, inhale and stand without using our hands. Means we have to use the strength of the legs. The chair comes aside, and we're working with the wall in such a way that when I face the wall, my left shin is parallel to the ceiling, to the floor, and my right foot comes across. Familiar? Absolutely. The same actions as we were doing moments ago in the chair. Now we're on the floor. This thumb forefinger webbing slides into the right groins, and as I exhale, I send this thigh toward the wall. Breathing out, I roll the thigh away. But at the same time, the abdominals have come to the left so that the pelvis is grounded. The pelvis is firm. We're not swiveling on the sacrum, not at all. Sacrum is not moving, thigh is turning out and moving to the wall. Then I check to see, can I move this foot off the wall? Seems I can. Now the shin is coming toward me. Does it remind you of rock the baby? If I did this, I'd be back into rocking the baby. But this way of working keeps the spine level on the floor. Then foot to the wall, left foot across, stretching calf to heel, ankle smooth and balanced. Then left hand into the outer left hip, foot off the wall, knee is going toward the wall, outer thigh is going to the wall as the right knee comes in. Remember, yogis, you can hold this pose as long as you wish. Just turn the video off. You can repeat the pose as well, and then turn the video on again and rejoin the sequence. Foot to the wall, feet to the floor, shift the hips, turn to the side, and come up. Blanket goes away. Now, we're going back to the belt that's ready in order for you to take downward facing dog. Let's go. Yogis, you'll remember this little foyer is our entranceway, and this is actually the bathroom door, because this is the space where we can show this little belt hack the most clearly. Ready for down dog? Slip your belt over your head and bring it into the crease at the top of the legs, just like that. Let the feet be parallel. Firm the thighs. So there's no chance as you fold forward that the knees will bend. Place the palms. Let the index fingers be parallel to each other. Then look back and step back in such a way that your feet are on either side of the trajectory of the belt. Walk the hands forward. Down dog. Work with the base of the posture. Press the thumb mounds into the floor, the index mounds into the floor. Stretch across the hands to the little finger side so that all 5 mounds on each hand are pressing down firmly. Similarly with the feet, send the inner heels back and away. So as you look back, you can't see the inner heels. Then let the arms stretch a little further forward, parallel index fingers, all 5 mounds pressing down. Now, go to the elbows, firm the elbows. Go to the upper arms, turn them out. Go to the shoulders, relax and spread the shoulders wide. Go to the chest, lift the skin of the chest away from the floor, and spread the skin of the chest across. Go to the abdominals and gently gather the abdominals into the body. Go to the sits bones, lift them off the hamstrings, and because you've stretched, walk the fingers a little further away. In downward facing dog in this fashion, you can stay 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes as you build up the stamina. Then, to come out of your posture, walk your hands toward you, walk your feet toward your hands, place your hands on your hips, inhale and come up. And just stay for a moment or two, so that should you feel a little bit woozy, a little bit lightheaded, you are safe in your wall. When you feel that stability, your feet are firmly planted, your head is clear, just back up and step out of your strap and come back with us to the mat. Here we go. We're going to sit for a moment in front of our chair. We're placing the chair firmly against the wall. It's so important to trust your props. I want to be sure that this chair is not going to move when I'm sitting in front of it. As I sit in front of the chair, I'm taking the pose called Baddha Konasana. I like to roll my mat up so that I've got a little bit more support for the heels and the toes can release toward the floor. Why are we using the chair? Because where the chair touches the back body, there's an action that we're going to use because the chair is bringing some new awarenesses. First, we have to draw the buttock flesh back toward the chair. Then I can feel the touch of the chair at my thoracic spine. I can feel how there's just a light nudge of the edge of the chair, and it's telling me, draw those ribs into the body in order to lift the chest. The chair is touching about the mid-thoracic, and those ribs are drawing into the body like that, but diagonally. They're coming from low ribs to upper chest, meaning the space across the breast. My hands are holding the chair legs. I'm pressing down. I'm letting the chair fold those back ribs into the body. I'm lifting the chest more and more. This is the beginning of back body awareness. Mr. Iyengar has said, we can't see the back body. We have to feel the back body. We have to feel its expression. So, sitting in front of the chair is bringing new awareness. Fold those back ribs into the body, lift the chest more and more. As you lift the chest, let the skin of the chest spread up and down and side to side, like that. Baddha Konasana. It's a wonderful pose for many, many reasons, not the least of which it works on the hips, but also it's a mudra. You can see how the feet are sealed together. So the energy of left side, right side meets in the middle and merges. It's a lovely feeling. Baddha Konasana leads us to the next posture. To come out, I gather the knees together, let the feet slide away, and then take my blanket a little bit further from the chair. You're going to see from the side body what the arms are going to do. Sitting in front of my blanket, at the front of my blanket, I should say, I roll my mat out. I extend the legs into Dandasana, drawing the buttocks flesh back again, so the sit bones are out behind me. Maybe you remember in previous sequence how we pulled the rug out from under us. We literally drew the blanket back and up so that the sit bones come out behind, and you can see the angle now at the hip socket. The femurs, that's the thigh bones, are moving back. The sits bones are moving back, but the upper body is pivoting forward. That's the angle we're asking for. And then chair is right where we left it, against the wall. I check to see, can my right palm reach up for the chair? Seems like it can. Can my left palm reach up for the chair? Yes, it can. I'm walking my fingers back along the chair seat toward the back of the chair seat, and my job here, my mission, is to press the thighs down, stretch the heels away, and lift the chest. Now, if this position should cause the chest to do this, that just means this isn't the best position for your hands. Instead, you could slide your hands onto the chair legs and see, does that give you the lifted chest? Just a word of caution here about lifting the chest. I'm pointing to the bottom of the breastbone. If lifting the chest causes the bottom of the breastbone to jump forward, I won't do that. Instead, I'll take the bottom of the breastbone straight down to the navel. This gives me integrity in the back body, so I can lift the chest without tilting the breastbone forward. This is the beginning of back bendings. I'm using the arms to press down to lift those back ribs into the body to lift the chest. And then hands come away, and this takes us to the next pose, Ustrasana, the camel pose. You'll need your chair and your blanket. The blanket is a kind of little kneeling pad, and perhaps not everybody will need the blanket, but it's a kind thing to do to your kneecaps. So why not? Take your blanket and place it against the wall. I'm noticing as I work with my practice that my mat has been a little bit disturbed here at the wall, so I'm just smoothing it out again. I brought the chair back. And now I'd like you to look at the shins and the feet, because that's part of the base of the pose. The chair is at a distance to be determined by the length of your arms, basically. So I'm coming onto the blanket. I've allowed the knees to separate, and the shins are coming straight back from the wall. The feet are coming straight back from the wall. So rather than this, where the foot is sickled, see, can you get the foot coming straight back? Can you spread the toes and press the little toe side of the feet down? Work for that. It's needed in all of the supine back bendings. And then bring the thighs to the wall. Bring the hip crests to the wall. And lift the hip crests up the wall. Place the palms at the sides of the chest. Gather the elbows in. Pull with the hands as if they would slip down the wall and begin to coil the chest away from the wall. Pause. And just for a moment, take the hands to the top of the buttock and lengthen the top of the buttock toward the floor as you lift the hip crests even more. And then bring the hands back toward the chair. Oops, my chair is too far back. Let me gather the chair in, revisit the wall, top of the buttock down, hip crests up, spine coiling away from the wall. I'm looking up. And then right hand back to the chair, left hand back to the chair. Keep the thighs on the wall. Press down with the hands, lift the chest, and lengthen the back of the skull away from the top of the shoulders. Ustrasana, the camel pose, is the first of the back bends that Mr. Iyengar introduced into the posture work. To come out, hands to the wall, Sit bones to heels, pausing here, and then do repeat. Turn your video off again, and a third time, revisit Ustrasana. Because yogis, each time we do the pose, we get a little more. My friend Dory Miller, who's making this video with me, once used the image of dipping a piece of fabric into the dye, and how each time the fabric comes in, a little more of the color sticks. It's the same with yoga. The first time you do the posture, the body is saying, oh, that? Let me see. The second time, the body says, oh, you're right, I get it. The third time, there's an ease and a delicious knowing of the pose. You could make your entire practice the visit to one pose. Did you know that? You could make that pose your friend by repeating it in a variety of ways and exploring how the props work in the pose. We're moving on. After this little back bend, we're going to take that action of the back body coming in toward the front body, and we're going to use a blanket bolster. So we roll our little blanket up. So we've got a nice, smooth, even bolster shape. And we'll take one of our foam chip blocks. You've done this pose before, but not for a while. The foam chip block is close to hand while we place ourselves on the bolster. We come onto the elbows, we push the top of the buttocks away, we roll the shoulder blades on the bolster. I'm comfortable taking my head to the floor, but I know that there are some yogis for whom this action is not comfortable or even necessarily appropriate. So in that case, you would take a foam block or a little cushion or maybe two foam blocks, and you would place them like that, so that you can rest the back of the head on some surface. I'm not going to show the posture with this foam block, but please do have support for the back of your head if taking your head back compresses the back neck or causes any sensation of dizziness. I'm going to use the foam block in this way. I've got the foam block held between the heels of the hands, the palms, and the fingers, and I'm stretching the foam block up toward the ceiling. Not just with the arms or even with the shoulders, but also with the muscles of the back that we enlivened with our previous postures. We step the feet back towards us. We might even turn the toes in a little. And first efforts, lifting the block, we stretch the block overhead. If the block reaches the floor, as you see here, well and good. If it does not, please place something under the block, maybe a cushion, maybe other foam blocks, whatever you have available. So you can press down into the surface, be it the floor or some other prop, and then away from you. Once you've done that, lift the foam block again, up from the muscles of the back, called the latissimus, or latissimus dorsi muscles, up and over to the floor and away from you. And then, let's add one more thing. Keeping the toes turned in, but the thighs parallel, lift the foam block from the back body, and then push into the feet, lift the hips, and now stretch the foam block overhead and away from you, and finally, tilt the sits bones away from the blanket bolster and down to the floor. Do it again. Arms up, push into the feet, hips up, arms above the head and away, tailbone tilting away from the bolster and slowly down to the floor, foam block back. Now, set your foam block to the side, coil the hand under the head, turn onto the side, and come up. We're going to take this to the next step of Setyabandha Sarvangasana, sometimes translated as the bridge pose. We'll use our chair, and again, we'll secure the chair directly against the wall, ensuring, is using our hands, ensuring that we can trust our thought. We'll unfold our little bolster, and this time we'll take our 2 foam blocks and we'll make a foam block blanket sandwich. Doesn't sound very appetizing, does it? But this is what it looks like. 2 foam blocks side by side, and the blanket folded above it. So that we have a platform now, you can see, that's probably 3 or 4 inches from the floor. And this little platform is drawn close to the edge of the chair, but how close? Again, it will depend on body proportions. The length of the trunk, the length of the arms. I'm going to show how the belt might be useful in this case too, for some. We take a belt, we wrap it around the legs of the chair, and then draw it across, wrap it around the legs of the chair, and bring the belt to the sides of the mat. It will be handy if we need it. Then we tuck our garments in, we sit sideways to the chair, and roll the calves onto the chair seat, and then check to see, did we get this blanket in the right place? It's the right place if the shoulders are on the pad, but the head is on the mat. I'm checking with my thumbs to see, are my shoulders really on this pad? Yes, they are. Both right shoulder and left shoulder. My calves are on the chair seat. This is just the launching moment. Now I check to see, can I reach the chair legs? No, I can't. So let me hold the straps, hold the belt with my hands like this. Then I step my feet to the front edge of the chair. Sometimes the chair seat lifts, but don't worry about that. Because as soon as you press down with the feet, the chair seat will press down as well. Watch the shoulders and upper arms now. See how the shoulder tucks under and the upper arm rolls out, and my hands reach a little further toward the chair legs. The feet are parallel, the thighs are parallel, and so now I can begin to work in this pose. I have to use the pressure of the feet to lift the hips. I have to press the back of the arms down to lift the chest. And then relax the throat, relax the jaw, keep the hips lifting, keep the chest lifting, and breathe. I suggest you start with 4 or 5 smooth, long inhalations, exhalations as you hold Setyabandha Sarvangasana. You can always add another breath the next time you do the posture, and another breath after that. But work with the integrity of the pose. Here the top of the buttock is stretching to the back of the knees. The backs of the arms pressing down give the freedom to the chest. When you're ready to come out, lengthen the buttock toward the floor. Push with the feet so that the shoulders slide onto the mat. Move your foam block sandwich, and then use your agile yogic feet. Draw the chair toward you and rest the calves, rest the arms. This is a delicious position for Shavasana. Here in Shavasana, just slide the glasses off the face. Tuck the chin toward the chest. Close the eyes. And if you have your little timer close to your yoga mat, give yourself at least 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, to rest in Shavasana. In Shavasana, let the brain melt like the snow on the coastal mountains let the brain melt toward the heart, slowly, releasing that busy brain energy and gathering into the space around the heart. Organize the breath so that the breath is soft, smooth, and you can sense it spreading and lifting within. The breath starts in the back body. Tune into that so that you sense how the breath begins from back and moves into the front body, relaxing and spreading the skin of the front body over the bones of the rib cage. Smooth, even inhalations. And throughout the exhalation, even here, a sense that the chest remains open, lifted, and free. The calves are completely rested on the chair seat. The feet are soft and resting. The pelvis is resting on the supports that we use for the shoulders. All is well. Once you've given yourself a generous Shavasana, at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes is even better, then you'll take the hands to the front body. Find your specs. Those of us who wear glasses want to be sure that they're safe. And then draw the knees in, take little motion side to side. Feels really good on this soft support beneath the sacrum. And then turn entirely onto your side. Support your head as you go. Come up. And now we're going to do one little pranayama practice. It's called Brahmari breath. Have you noticed right now how many bees are in the gardens, the parks, the walkways in Nanaimo? The trees are doing their level best to bloom and blossom and prepare to produce fruit. The cherry trees, the apple trees, the magnolias, the forsythia, everything is blossoming. And everywhere in the canopy of the trees are bees, many different kinds of bees. Brahmari is the name of a little black bee in India, and it makes the sound that bees make, probably everywhere, that's a buzzing sound, not humming, not melodic, but a lovely, smooth, even buzzing sound. Here's what we're going to do. Again, we'll use our chair. I'm pushing the chair against the wall so it's secure. We won't need our belt, so we can just take that away so it doesn't distract us in any way. And let's sit with our blanket and foam block sandwich just in front of the chair. The chair is very useful because it gives a touch to the back body. Then we fold the legs in. Which leg comes in first? Well, we alternate them. Because it's an asymmetrical pose, I'm going to bring the left leg in this time and turn the calf away, turn to the top of the foot, and set the feet down in such a way that the heel is stacked in front of the heel. The shins are on the floor. This pose is called Siddhasana. It's named for the Siddhis, or the wise ones, who sat in meditation. It's a balanced pose. If the shins don't come to the floor, not to worry. Get a second blanket, fold it, and place it under the shins. So the shins have something to press down into. Gather your chair. Hold the legs of the chair. Lift the chest. Draw the thoracic ribs that were touching the chair previously into the body. Take the hands to the thighs. Check to see for yourself. When you turn the hands up, Does it feel as if the back of the hands are helping to press down and lift the sides of the rib cage? Or is it better for you to turn the palms down? The advantage of hands turned up is that we get the upper arm turning out. We get space in the side body to bring breath here. Mr. Iyengar said there's storehouses of energy there. We want to be able to reach this area. Hands up gives this. Hands down. The shoulders do roll forward a little. We do narrow a little across the upper chest. But if you're aware of that, you can spread the collarbones and lift the chest. Then, I like to take glasses off in pranayama, so there's no distraction there. Then you'll close the eyes. And just let the muscles of the face settle, so all expression is dissolved. Keep the spine coming into the body and up. Keep the sides of the rib cage lifting, the breastbone lifting, the belly softly gathered in. And then start with a normal exhalation and a gentle, full inhalation. I made the sound of the bee, the buzzing sound, simply by softly closing lips and exhaling. Exhale, inhale. Maybe you can hear how the breath dwindles away as the bee sound dwindles with the exhalation. Here's another. Exhale, emptying yourself, and then inhale. You can spend 3 minutes with Bhramari breath. You can teach Bhramari breath to children, friends, and family. It has a wonderfully relaxing quality for the brain. This ends our sequence this morning. You see the sun rising, coming through the window, telling us that day has arrived. We finish our postures by gathering the palms together, drawing them straight in against the heart, and then we bow the intellect to the heart. Again, the energy of the brain dissolving and the heart energy expanding. I'm bowing to you, yogis. I'm bowing to my friend Dory Miller, who's helping so much with these videos. I'm bowing to my teachers. Namaste.